on his side like he does with, like Lopes does with the Nash, but still, he's making great use out of this lance from Sir Roland so far, and the sword as well.
Yeah, I feel like we got to acknowledge the fact that, like, he also blew up on the Vector. Like, he's definitely has a lance.
Also, yeah,
no stranger to the weapon, at the very least. But here we are, 2-space elimination side of things, and we're already seeing Yuz doing work with that lance. Left side, we're seeing Lopes and RTG kind of fight it out in the open air on that left side.
The RTG hoping he can land, playing a little bit slow so far, really defensively for the very beginning of this. He is the most damaged in the game so far, but he was mostly sticking to like really high in the air or like the right 50% of the stage. Even Yuz is going to go for the D-Light and then completely disengage from RTG. Lopes comes in, hits the D-Light into the recovery for the KO. Yuz doesn't find the neutral signature or the second one after the weapon toss bonks Tavares on the head.
Yeah, a little bit of awkwardness there as Lopes decided to run forward after that first neutral signature. They still managed to clean up Tavares there, and it is Yuz who's still sitting on that first stock. Nice recovery. Not even going to put Yuz off screen, so a little bit more work blue team's going to have to do to take him out.
Yeah, Sidelight Nair's really coming out from RTG so far, putting a fair bit of damage on both Yuz and Lopes, setting up for the potential juggle. TVR hoping to get the KO off the top, still isn't able to do it yet. All of that Roland defense holding on. The Nair juggles coming out, even the Nair from Lopes as well. RTG just taking a lot of damage, has to be careful. Finally, Yuz is going to lose that first stock, minute 15 in the game.
We see in Lopes recognize the situation, went real high, side sigs immediately as Yuz comes back, and that's going to put RTG down to his final stock. Team combo opportunity, but Lopes not able to land in time.
Yeah, he was just, I think, a little bit too close to Yuz. He tried to fade all the way to the left to catch Tavares, or I can't remember who got caught on that. I believe it was Tavares. There's the KO off the top again from Lopes, really using that spear recovery very well.
Nice pickup there, just a little three-piece onto RTG, and they immediately decide to swap over to Tavares. Again, the red team, they kind of just pick a person, point at him, and bully him. They're just really hunting down one singular person. Left side, Yuz not even having to help out Lopes. That's great communication.
Yeah, Lopes has been doing a great job of like saving his dodge until he hits the down heavy on the breakdance, completely splitting up the blue team, sending RTG all the way to the right side. RTG also without a weapon. Okay, safely landing and also gets the gravity cancel down signature back on the stage. What was that popped him?
There was a gravity cancel down sig, and it was Tavares who actually tried to punish with a sidelight and completely whiffed. Just unfortunate situation for Tavares, and this should be the cleanup. Nope, Lopes not able to get that second side sig. First one did take out RTG. Okay.
And
respect.
He just wanted to make sure he got the KO against the player that wasn't red, and then he knew the game was lost, so he wanted to move on to the next one. Again, man, Lopes has been the one scoring so many KOs for this red team. And I think like that's not necessarily because like Yuz is dropping the ball. This isn't like a negative on Yuz. It seems like this is very much part of Lopes's role. Either he's the one like using the finishing move on their 2v1 team combo, or he feels confident enough with his KO options. They're going to KO way earlier than the sword is going to if we're talking about D-Light recovery. And if we're talking about the lance, he doesn't really have any true KO combo options like a D-Light recovery or a D-Light side air or any of the myriad of options that Lopes has on the hammer or spear, in addition to like a pretty strong signature kit. So it seems like they seem to have reasonably defined roles here, at least in terms of KOs.
Yeah, that's kind of what you would expect, especially like just looking raw stat line. Like generally speaking, if you're coming in here with your focus on defense, you're kind of a setup guy. And if you're coming in here with something like Nash with that base 7 strength, you're likely going to be the guy who's swinging a little bit harder, the guy who's trying to finish off stocks. So they're just kind of playing into the roles that they've already assigned to themselves with their characters. Looking at the damage split, though, that was a lot of spear damage from Lopes. You kind of pointed it out with the vertical, with the KOs, but looking at the numbers themselves, 72% of the last game was spear play from Lopes.
Yeah, I was actually just looking at that number the second that you called it out, too. This game is going to start off with some hammer gameplay. A nice little pass over to Yuz, who finished off with a sword neutral light. Not going to be the KO just yet. Oh, I thought we were going to get an interruption from Yuz. I can't believe the KO. Okay, are they going to get the full team wipe here? There's the weapon toss. Sweat beats. He gets the side air. I think he was done after that, no?
Yeah, I mean, I thought for sure Yuz was going to sweat beat. He wanted to guarantee it by going for that side air, but unfortunately missed the timing. Yuz ended up getting back up safely. Still good position here for the blue team as the side air from RTG is going to clean up that stock. Also going to point out the character swaps. We got the Taros and the Aang here for the blue team.
Yeah, this is that other swap that we briefly mentioned before this game started when we first remarked on the Ulgrim that came out from RTG that we saw earlier. There's going to be a KO off the top. See if they can finish it off here. The dodge came through, so the neutral air from Yuz's sword didn't get the KO. But again, Lopes is able to finish it up right there. Nice interruption from RTG, like right when he spawned in, he didn't immediately go for the weapon. He came in and hit the unarmed move before finding the weapon so that he could get that interruption and save his teammate.
Yeah, Tavares got caught by the hammer stomp, and RTG immediately was doing that unarmed downlight into the ground pound, trying to get the damage he can. Nice pickup from Muse. It's both blue team members.
And again. Oh, and Lopes is there to then send Tavares out, and then RTG's back over on the right side, and the down air, that's it for him. And Muse, even after that down air, is ready to find the recovery. There's the D-Light side air on the left side. Red team's on fire. This game isn't like completely out of blue team's control, but it seems like all of the momentum is in red team's favor right now, even though Lopes is super damaged.
Yeah, I mean, huge credit to the sword play from Muse. We talked about how much Lopez's spear was popping off in the last game, but really this game, I feel like Muse's sword has been like this main setup tool. It's really been kind of like the backbone of what they're doing here in this game.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job of like catching off of Lopez's starters with the sword, which, ooh, there's the side sig and the stomp side air. Did he actually get the signature hit? I don't think so. No, okay, that was a double KO for Taro, so he wasn't quite there on the money for that, but still, didn't even need it. But yeah, like him being able to pick up that with the sword is like, okay, all of a sudden, the like penalty for missing on sword that you feel in 1v1s, there's one KO on the left side, now on the right side, and there's the stopped side air from Lopes. Started in the air with the GC sidelight into the side air for the KO, and this time they kind of split it right down the middle. So that penalty that you have, that you feel in 1v1s whenever you whiff on sword, if you're hitting it because you're getting a guaranteed follow-up off of your teammate, like all of a sudden that penalty isn't such a big deal.
Yeah, really solid stuff. Obviously, we knew Use had a sword, but you're seeing it, and it's showing in the numbers as well. This time, it was Use with 70% of the game using that sword, putting out 404 damage. A little bit more even split on the side of Lopes. It's 41% and 37% hammer and spear. But really, I'm just worried for Tavares and RTG. They had a nice start. That Taro's side signature definitely was a good comfort, but they just couldn't maintain that.
Yeah, this team is definitely struggling against Lopes and Use. We did get the swap over onto the Aang. Oh, this is a very curious swap coming in from Tavares. We have the Mega Man coming out. This is going to be like one of the. Is this the first set of blasters that we've seen all day? I
want to say yes. We've seen a fair bit of hammers and axes, spears, gauntlets, the usual. But I think this is our first set of blasters. Not our first set of boots. Tavares was already playing the Tesca earlier as well, so that's not too weird. But yeah, this is a surprising swap. Relatively low legend level, right? I think it was like 26, something like that, compared to like the borderline hundreds on everyone else. I think Use is the only one who's at 98 instead of the 100.
Yeah, so we have a couple rare legend picks today coming out. Of course, we have the Mega Man here, and then we saw the 7 earlier coming out from Max. So we're seeing a little bit of variation. It's not the most variation in the world, but a little bit of variation. A little bit of team damage there coming out from Tavares. That neutral signature going to whiff on Use, was way too high in that moment.
Tavares not able to follow up with that down air. Okay, good target swapping from Tavares. He's playing in between both red team members and doing it very well. It is hard to thread that needle. Going for the weapon toss, but Uses down signature connects first, and that's going to leave Tavares unarmed. Stomp, side air, Tavares first one to fall.
He's just so quick at finding that, and there he finds it again, this time on the soft platform. That is a full team wipe off of Lopez's hammer.
Tavares just trying to survive. You saw him recovering to get as high as possible. Use taking a decent amount of blasters damage here, but the blue team likely wants to get the KOs. Gravity cancel side sig's going to get one.
Oh, tried to overspace with the sidelight. He ends up getting punished by the sidelight coming in from Use's sword. Ooh, RTG. Okay, he was in the air for a while. I was worried that he was going to get juggled, potentially KO'd off the top, especially with Lopes coming in with the hammer. It seems like he's looking for it. He's kind of camping around that soft platform, playing really high. He wants to sneak one off the top, and because of that Use, he just ends up falling on the right side.
Meanwhile, Lopes throws out that down signature on the hammer. Blue team was perfectly split in position for the team combo, but they didn't get the opener. There wasn't the blaster's neutral light connection that they wanted, and unfortunately, that just makes this even harder for the blue team.
That very first sword that came out from the D-Sig on Use. Okay, just barely missing that side air as the dodge came out from Tavares, who was putting out some damage onto Lopes in that moment. The neutral, they're going to have some team damage, and Use right after that picks up the recovery for the KO off the top. RTG trying to float. There's the in-light, D-light down air into the side sig from Lopes. Just real quick damage.
Okay, Tavares going sig for sig. Throws out a side sig of his own. Not nearly as beefy as the spear side sig from Nash. Oh, Tavares. Okay. Combo time, side
scary.
sig. RTG
Yup.
trying to save, but he knows he can't get it. And that is a 3-0 in favor of Hughes and Lopes.
Wow. Tavares actually put out more damage than RTG did. His numbers look pretty decent, 366. To me, it felt like a lot less. In terms of a damage split, it was like kind of right down the middle. 182 on the boots and 143 on the blast.